Well, today we're going to be talking about loving our spouse even when we don't feel like it. So, Dr. Kim, why does the feeling of love often stop in marriage?
I think probably a lot of reasons. It's God gave us a lot of different feelings, and I think we see pretty easily in other feelings that they can come and go. I mean, we're not angry all the time. We're not happy all the time. And so because we don't feel that love all the time doesn't mean we don't love our spouse. It just means that sometimes the feeling's not there. And I think so many times we base what love is on the feeling as opposed to the other things of it. It's a commitment. It's that long term feeling that we have for someone. But the highs and lows. And the problem is there's nothing better than the feeling of love when you're on that high. I mean, when you first fall in love, and even the times throughout your lives and marriage together, do you feel that and you think, oh, I would love that? And then when it's gone, you think, did I quit? Some people think, well, did I quit loving that person? No, you really didn't. The feeling's there. And I think that's where people get in trouble a lot in our culture today. We go so much on the feeling. I don't feel like I did when on our honeymoon. Well, yeah, you're not gonna feel like that maybe all the time on your honeymoon, but that didn't mean you bail.
Exactly. Yeah, those feelings of love are great, but love is still a choice and an action word, and so what
Yep.
does that look like? Yeah, no, I totally agree. So is it okay when we don't have that loving feeling though towards our spouse?
I'm gonna say yes and no. I think short term, we got to realize that's a reality and that's okay. If it happens long term, I think that should be a red flag that something's wrong. If Nancy and I had a period of time where we're just going through things, and I think what happens, and a few times that we really have felt that way in our marriage when we struggled, is that the longer that feeling in there, the more distant I felt like we got. And I think it made it more difficult for us to connect. And so we had to come to the point and say, we got to get reconnecting, because then when we reconnect, then there's the real possibility, and it always did happen, that the feeling would come back. So it's yes and no. Short term, normal. Long term, it should be a red flag. Say, we need to do something about this.
Yeah, and that connection piece that you said, I think is really key to that of just like, yes, let's not stay distant from one another. Let's not stay on these planes where we're not really liking each other, not really
Right.
vibing with each other. Like that is important. So what I hear you saying is like you do think that this feeling of love matters. Is that what you're saying, Dr. Kim?
Yeah, I think that's part of the gift of it that God gave us, and I think we feel that even with the relationship with God. There's times that I feel so close to God, I feel like I could just touch him. And there's other times I'm reading the Bible or praying, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do when I get through. I'm thinking this is the driest thing I've ever read. But then there's other times. Does that mean that I don't love God and he didn't love me? Absolutely not. So I think we have to realize our feelings are there for a reason, um, but they don't necessarily define what's really going on in a relationship.
Yeah, that is so wise, Dr. Kim. I think it's really easy to obsess is the word that I would use over
Yeah,
our feelings when
yeah,
there's so much more going on there than just our feelings.